Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a sit down video and like explain everything that's going on, but honestly I think it's just best if I just say it while it's fresh. So I mean, I'm not ready and I'm not like have my camera set up nicely or anything. I just wanted to let everyone know what's going on and kind of update the YouTube world. So you can probably tell by the title of this video or whatever, I went into preterm labor, but don't worry, the bump is still here and intact. He's still inside, but yes, I did. So I wanted to talk about that and just kind of let you guys know what happened. I might as well do like a little bit of an update too in this video. I am 31 and a half, almost 32 weeks pregnant. So this should be my 32 week update for you guys, and I'll just let you know what happened. I don't want to be, I'm gonna sit down. I don't want to talk for a super long time, but yeah, I just wanted to get this video out. So I had my last day of work on December 23rd, and during that shift around about 6 o'clock I started having contractions, which I thought were Braxton Hicks contractions, and from 6 to 7 I realized they were painful, but my Braxton Hicks contractions have been painful up until this point, so I wasn't too concerned. But from 6 to 7 I realized that there was a pattern, and I had about probably 6 in that time frame. So I got kind of worried, and I let everyone know at my work, like the person that I needed to report to, and I tried to have someone come in and cover me in case I needed to go to the hospital. So I did that. I let them know what was going on. Yeah, so I let them know what was going on, and then by like 7:15-ish, I would say, I was kind of worried, and I just felt like something wasn't right. So I left and headed to the hospital. I went straight into labor and delivery and told them what was going on, and they got me in a bed, hooked me up to the like non-stress test, fetal monitor thing, and they realized I was having contractions. They were coming every 10 minutes or less, and they got gradually painful even when I was there. Like my first one when I walked in was painful, but enough that I could talk through it, and there was some while I was laying in that bed that were just so unbearable that I was like shaking and almost scared to like relax for the next one, because that's like how intense they were. So they came in, checked my cervix, and she said, I think at that point I was a fingertip dilated, which I looked online and that's 1 centimeter, but she didn't say 1 centimeter, she just said a fingertip. So I know sometimes that can mean less than a centimeter, but she said I was a centimeter or a fingertip dilated, and then they did like all the tests to see if I was in preterm labor, to see if I had that GBS or whatever, that, so if they need to give me antibiotics, and they made sure I had like to test for an infection, a urinary tract infection, and yeah, so they did those 3 tests on me. They did swabs, and the test for preterm labor came back negative, but I was still having contractions. I didn't have a UTI. So they decided and asked if it was okay to give me morphine, because morphine slows down contractions, so they were hoping, or stops it, so they're hoping that if they gave me morphine they would stop. They still came, and they were getting kind of closer together, so they decided to call another hospital because they're not equipped to take preterm babies. And the hospital said, just have her come to us. So I had to go to that hospital in an ambulance. And in my my thing's gonna die. I have to charge my camera. Okay, I guess I'll be back to tell the story. But before they put me on the ambulance, they gave me a shot of steroids, and they also checked me two more times to make sure my labor wasn't progressing too quickly that they had to like airlift me, because the hospital was 3 hours away. So I rode in the ambulance for 3 hours. When they checked me the second time, my cervix was getting shorter and softer, so that's what made her feel like I needed to go to the other hospital. So on the ambulance I went, and I will continue the story in a few minutes. I might look different, might not. Yeah, I'll continue it momentarily. Okay, it's been 2 days since I filmed the first half of this story. I just pretty much got busy and then haven't really had time since. But just to jump right back in, I got on the ambulance. Oh my gosh, my belly looks so big right now, and it's tight. I'm having a Braxton Hicks contraction, which happens nowadays. Okay. So when I got on the ambulance, my contractions actually slowed down a lot. I got to sleep on the way there, probably for about an hour and a half in total, maybe 2 hours, but in between I was waking up, like my contractions would wake me up, and I would have to tell the ambulance woman or whatever, like, okay, I'm having a contraction. I had to tell her when it started, when it stopped. And then when I got to the hospital in the city, which the city is Edmonton, just so you guys know, I was checked by a doctor there, and my cervix still hadn't changed from when they checked me in my hometown. So that was good. And then basically they assessed me a little bit longer. What? You're eating? Just wait, I'm talking. You need mama? Are you eating your fries? So basically they assessed me a little bit longer in like the intake area, I think, for labor, where they this is the place where they like triage, kind of, I guess it's considered. I never did go into labor and delivery. So they realized that I think that there wasn't like an imminent, like, there wasn't a need to keep me in the triage, so they brought me to antepartum. Okay, sorry, got interrupted. So they put me into antepartum, and just to give you a time reference, I went into the hospital in my hometown at 7, and by 4 a.m. I was at the hospital that was 3 hours away in Edmonton, and then I went into antepartum around, I want to say like 9 or 10 in the morning. So and I didn't really sleep that night, obviously. So I was in antepartum, and my contractions were coming, but they weren't painful anymore at all. They were just kind of tightening. Every once in a while I would have a painful one, but it wasn't anything like it was when I first came in the night before. So then that was the 23rd. So now when I went in, and now it's the 24th. I stayed there all day. They wouldn't let me go home that day. They said they wanted to watch me for another day or so. And so that's what they did. And then by the next day I was ready to go home. It was Christmas, the 25th. I need to go play with her. But anyways, so by the 25th, that next day, I slept that night from the 25th to the 24th and I was fine. I was just having tightenings, and really that was all. Then on the 25th, they checked me one more time. I still hadn't changed since I came in the night on the 23rd, or the morning of the 24th. So they felt like they could let me go. They told me that I had to talk to my OB within the next couple days, which they alternate here, so I don't just have one, but and they said that they might do another ultrasound. So I actually just had that appointment with my OB, well, one of the OBs, today, and it's the 31st, so 6 days later. They were actually closed all week because of the holiday, and she basically didn't seem too concerned. I told her about having heaviness, and I am still having contractions, but I think they're just practice ones now, but I still have them every day. Basically, she said I'm 32 weeks, so she's not too concerned, and obviously it would be better if I made it to 34 weeks, but she didn't really, she said she didn't want to do an ultrasound because I was 32 weeks, whatever that means. So I think that's literally all she said though. So there really wasn't much to say. She just said if you feel, you obviously know when to come in because you came in before, and if you feel that way again, then obviously come into the hospital. But yeah, I think they're not too concerned, and I am really thinking I'm gonna have this baby early. Hopefully not like in the next week, because I'm definitely not ready for him to come. But I don't know how soon. I just don't think I'm gonna make it to my due date in February. So the end of February. So yeah, that's that. It's been crazy. I've been emotional. There's other stuff going on in my life, and it's just been like a roller coaster for me lately, but I'm doing okay, and he's okay, and Ariel is okay, and as long as my children are okay, I'll be fine, and we'll move on, and life will continue. I'm really excited to meet him though, and I know if he were to come at this point forward, he would be more than likely fine. So I'm hoping he waits till at least 34 weeks to come, and then yeah, so that is my preterm labor story. I was gonna do a little update, but I think I'm just gonna do that separately. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, please. Yeah, that's all. I'll show you my bump. I guess I did already, really, but I'll show you my bump in case it's my last bump shot. I definitely feel like he has dropped, but I don't know. And I'm getting new stretch marks. Hello. From the front, my poor belly button piercing is just from the side. So yeah. Bye guys. Say bye. Say bye. Bye. Say bye. Say bye. Bye.